In the summer of 2019, I rode the Indian FTR 1200 at the global launch in Los Angeles. It was unlike anything that the world expected out of Indian motorcycle stable. Inspired by its flat track heritage, this motorcycle created a lot of flutters amongst the journalists and customers. As fate would have it, a few months later, the law of attraction made me its first customer in India. Fast forward to 2022, I get my hands on the new 2022 FTR in Sydney.
So guys, right now I'm at the Putty Road in Sydney with the FTR 1200. This is the base variant and it's matte black red. What else could I want? So this is one of the best roads very near to Sydney that you can go over a cafe run. And that is what Sydney siders do here. I've been to this road many times, approximately 9 to 10 times. And one of the most memorable rides here for me, it was actually when I started my ride around Australia for 20,000 kilometers on the Ninja H2. So that was in 2017, and this was the first road, the first 50-60 kilometers that I did when I started from the Sydney Opera House. And you can check out the video, the whole 4-5 episodes, because back then I didn't used to vlog or take videos so much in 2017. But right now I am with a motorcycle which is actually completely opposite to the Ninja H2. It's like I won't say it's docile. I mean it's got quite a lot of power. It's a V-twin and 1200 cc, 123 horsepower. In fact, I've got the same motorcycle in India since almost 3 years, the FTR 1200S, which is the version which is little above this, which with more bells and whistles like full color TFT touchscreen and stuff like that. So there's a motorcyclist behind me. You know, this is basically a motorcycling road, and all sort of bikes you can see. And all of these people are probably going to the Grey Gum Cafe, which is a very popular cafe here. And today is actually a weekday. So on a weekend, like on a Sunday, there will be hundreds of motorcycles here and sometimes supercars. In fact, a lot of times supercars too. Last time I came here, I spotted a Lamborghini. You know, I was on the H2. So I am trying to find snow. It's like it's not recommended to find snow because the tires on these bikes are basically Metzeller's and they are not really off-road type, dual purpose type tires. In fact, the bike which I have back home, they are dual purpose. So in fact, one of my guys in my team, he recently took it to Ladakh while I was here in India, the world's highest roads and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a very enjoyable motorcycle. You know, it's the ergonomics are spot on. There's no wind protection, obviously, but you know, it's very relaxed posture. So you find inspiration, you find confidence when you're riding this. And I hope I just don't run into black ice, stuff like that. And this road is amazing, you know, and actually let's hit the road before the sun just disappears, like around 3:34 p.m. So this is now 10. So I haven't got much time, and let's see what happens. So guys, this behind me is called a whaler. So basically whaler was a name given to horses which were bred here in the Hunter Valley, New South Wales. And they were essentially exported around the world, especially during the World War I. Now, this term, the whaler, was actually given by the British colony in India first, and then it became popular because, of course, it's from New South Wales. And that is a very interesting Indian connection that I just saw. I mean, I was stunned that actually, even now here, pretty much it's a nondescript place. I can find an Indian connection, and it's pretty amazing that this horse was actually being used by British India to colonize India. Biggest difference is, of course, the wheels. Now, this has a 17-inch wheels, and which are standard on most road bikes. So that is, of course, a very big change. And I was thinking that probably this change was due or for the better, because you need more customers, and more customers would like to ride this on the road rather than off-road. And if you really want to take the FTR off-road, you still have the FTR Rally option with the same configuration. So what they have done is they essentially made two versions of the FTR. One FTR Rally and then this FTR, which also has the FTR S and the FTR R Carbon, which is the top spec version with the all-in suspension, carbon fiber body panels, and the works, as they say here in Australia. And of course, the S has the TFT screen, while this one is pretty simple, and it's got the analog console. But the Zax fully adjustable suspension, they are actually standard on this one, which was not standard in the earlier FTR. Because the earlier FTR, if you wanted to get the fully adjustable suspensions, you would want to go with the FTR S 1200, which also has the TFT, of course, with Bluetooth connection and everything. Now, this, of course, because you have changed the wheels, you also have to play around a little bit with the rake and trail. So what they've done is the rake has become steeper. It's become 25 degrees, if I'm not wrong, and the trail has come to 99 millimeters, and which means it will be a sharper handler, better suited for the road. And the handlebars themselves have reduced by 4 centimeters, which is 40 millimeters, because you don't require that extra leverage to move the earlier bigger wheel, which was 19 inches. Now, I've been riding this. The earlier one had Dunlop tires, which were dual purpose, which was specially developed by Dunlop for the FTR. They were dual purpose, so they were knobbies or semi-knobbies. But these tires, the Metzeler Sportec, these are actually suitable for the road, and of course very grippy, and you can do extremely spirited riding on these. And with 120 bhp odd on tap, 120 newton meters of torque, if I'm not wrong, and it's actually a very peppy machine. 232 kgs approximately, with the fuel and everything. And another thing which I actually discovered is that I would admit recently is that actually the fuel tank is not here. The fuel tank is below the seat, like in MotoGP motorcycles, the MotoGP bikes, and which means better center of gravity, but it also means that you will have a lesser fuel tank capacity, which stands at 13 liters. So what is here actually? Here you have got a very big air box, and which means that it can breathe better, it can produce power more freely and stuff like that. And these panels, you can just take them out and replace them with any other panels you want. Another thing which, me being a graphic designer, I was like a creative guy, I appreciate beauty, and I think this is one of the most beautiful motorcycles. I may not be able to articulate that properly by saying this right now, but you should watch the video by Fort9. I mean, he's one of the best YouTubers, if I can say, out there, and his video on this, how beautiful, how well designed the Indian FTR is. So I'll leave the link in the description below. And of course, I'm enjoying this. And if you ask me, what would I prefer? Would I prefer the FTR 1200, which is here, the 2022 version, which is more oriented towards the road, or would I prefer my own bike, which I got in 2019, which is back in India, the FTR 1200S? It's a difficult choice. Color notwithstanding, I keep wrapping my motorcycles with different colors. I think I would still prefer my own bike, Although it was not as refined as the new FTR 1200 here, they've also made changes to the engine. It's more smoother, better cold start and stuff like that. So the best thing is Polaris have actually increased the scope of the customer base that can buy this motorcycle. You've got the road going, you've got the off-road, the inclined scrambler, the FTR Rally. So I wish them more sales, because this is one heck of a motorcycle, one of the most beautiful motorcycles I have ever owned or ridden or shot or whatever. I'm very proud of that, this motorcycle. Although this is the bike which I ride the least back in India. That is also one of the truths, but never mind. Let's hit the road again. So guys, it's almost sunset and it's not even 4:30, but this is a beautiful place. All around me are vineyards and I'm in the Hunter Valley, and this is one of the perfect motorcycles that you can actually use to come to such a region. If you want to go a little bit off-road, you can, without worrying about hitting the anything below. And it's got lot of power. In fact, I've said many times that 120 odd bhp is more than enough and plus. And more than the motorcycle, it's about the whole experience of riding here after such a long time. And I thought a lot about which motorcycle should I use. Should I use a super sports or a bike like a Hayabusa or something like that? But I thought that if I have to explore these kind of regions where I don't know, if I have to go an off-road trail, I don't want a too heavy motorcycle or a too high motorcycle. And this actually fits the bill perfectly. So when would you want to buy a motorcycle like the FTR 1200? It's when you want to be unique. These motorcycles are very rare. In fact, they are even rare in India. When you want to have a lot of power at disposal. But right now, it's beautiful to be here against the setting sun. I think it was a good run. I couldn't find snow. On one end, Charlotte Pass, to the Australia's highest mountain, there was a lot of snow. In fact, I couldn't go over there. And here, there was no snow. So, but yeah, it's pretty cold, just to give you the chills. So there we go.